Hello, this is Shawn, and today we're talking about winning in negotiations. Negotiating is one of my favorite things to do. I love it very much, and I'm in the appropriate business for negotiating a lot. Negotiations is a very psychological game. It's fascinating how you can deliver the same information and be received many different ways depending on how you deliver it. So it's extremely important in negotiations to be firm but pliable. So that's kind of a delicate balance. So firm enough to be professional, to kind of know how to hold yourself strong and take a strong position, but at the same time able to work and adjust based on displaying that you're willing to work with somebody on the other side. It's important to understand your minimum standard and be able to walk away if you're not able to hit that. This is true if it's a price that you're willing to pay for a house that's being marketed, or if you had an inspection report and you know the minimum expectations related to repairs, if you're a buyer, for example, that you need the seller to take care of, or you're going to walk away if you don't get the minimum. Anytime you know the minimum, you always want to know that up front and be private about that. So if you have a representative like me on the agent side, you need them to be operating knowing your minimum standard if you're the buyer or the seller and they're representing you. But that's also private and it's communicated as such. That gives this person the ability to negotiate on your behalf, and they know your minimum standard, but you never display that. So let's say, for example, that you've got a house that's asking $400,000 and you have to buy it for $390 or better, or you're not going to, in other words, $390 or negotiate off of that lower, or you're not going to buy it. You never want to rush to your minimum. So you're not going to start with your offer at $390, because now the seller is naturally going to want to see if they can pull you farther. It's human nature to do so. And if you didn't allow some padding, some fat on the bone to trim, then it's very easy for that deal to fall through or fizzle out the moment that you make that first offer, and are not pliable the moment you get a response back. The same would be true if you got an inspection report and the home has got some structural needs and you want those at minimum taken care of, but you've got some other things that would be nice to have, some electrical issues and things like that, but you've got to have the structural needs taken care of by the seller. You're not just going to simply ask for that. You're going to ask for a lot more than that. The goal in negotiations is always to go as far as you can go without them viewing you as unreasonable. So you want to push them as far from where they want to be as you can while they still view you as reasonable. That is the goal. Even if they don't want to accept it, you've left enough negotiating room and the ability to come off of your original position to work with them and meet a final middle ground. So I like to take that original offer as far as I can without them deeming you as unreasonable. And this is very psychological, and your attitude, don't ever forget, is such where you are a professional, you're not a bully. If you're a bully, you're going to trigger a defense mechanism. So a bully is coming into a $400,000 asking price and saying, hey, I'm offering you $320. What do you think? Just the offer itself being $80,000 or a super high percentage, unlike anything we've ever seen on the market, this person is going to be like, you're not serious, you're unreasonable, just get out of here. A bully could also not just be a position, but can also be an attitude. So you come in and you're like, yeah, your house is okay, but it's got all these different things that it needs, and I'm not really that excited. Well, more than anything, you're going to trigger their defense mechanism and their ego, and they're not going to want to work with you at all. They would rather just work with somebody else that is a little bit more reasonable in their opinion. So you never want to be a bully. So these are some fun things to be aware of, and some criteria in how you negotiate that will work really well for you and never burn bridges. So that means if you don't work things out, you don't get your minimum standard hit, then be able to walk away, but keep it professional. Because if you should choose to come back, or let's say the other person on the other side of the fence changes their position, maybe you want to come back and either purchase that house and move forward with a transaction that didn't work out before. So always leave on professional terms, never burn any bridges, because you never know how things are going to work out later. Hope that helps, and we'll talk to you next time.